Hey, this is Coach Joe Doncaster-born Bob Build for Theme Parks, and welcome to another video. Now this video is another rating video, and it's on the future of a area currently operating at Alton Towers. It's been operating since the Oblivion coaster opened in 1998, in March 1998, and it's been and this area's been in operation since 1998. It did replace Fantasy World, and this is of course X Sector at Alton Towers. Now, this contains Oblivion, the B&M dive coaster. It contains the Smiler, which opened in 2013, which is a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster, the world's first 14 looper. And of course, it's got the classic Enterprise. And of course, a few years ago, they replaced the classic model from the 80s, and they sort of bring in a newer style model. But it looks pretty much the same, but it's a newer model. And of course, on the old site of Submission, they've got a bit like a memorial garden kind of thing. It's just a patch of grass, but of course on that site it used to have a double swinging inverter called Submission, which first operated in 2001 and closed around 2013. So again, there's some potential in that area. However, I do think the future for X Sector could be bright if they put a flat ride on Submission site. I think that's one of the major sites that they need a flat ride for. One of the other sites, of course, being Ripsaw's site. The Blade, I guess, is in the long term for taking out. However, I did see some recent TLC stuff from Alton Towers this week, apparently with some new steel, I think some like new steel structure, or some new steel bars that were placed outside. There was a picture of it somewhere. So whether it's for heave-ho, which I doubt it will be, I think this confirms the Blade's future for a few years now. Because of course, we came so close to losing the Blade a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. We came so close to losing the Blade, and of course they managed to sort of get the refurbishments done to it and keep it operating. And of course, it's set to be operating for the next few years at least, it seems, with these new steel bars that were put in on the winter season updates. So I do feel like the Blade site won't be touched for a few years yet. Ripsaw's site still, again, bit iffy. I think Toadstool is looking to be coming back to Carcoculan this year. If it's not, then it's a total waste. Because I don't know where that rumour came from, but mind you, it was the same time that the rumour about Sea Life expanding came in, and there was nothing that I heard from that. So again, you've got to look at it. So there's quite a few flat ride sites, but the one I'm focusing on the most is Submission site, because there's some brilliant potential with that site. You can put in a Zamperla Hawk, you can put in a bit like a Skyflyer type attraction. I mean, if Voltar, which was at the closed Pleasure Island over in Cleethorpes, you could have sent that over to Alton Towers and repaint it, and bam, you've got a flat ride on Submission site, because Submission was gone by then. So again, you've got to look at that and you've got to think wasted potential there. I do, however, feel as if there are a few upgrades that need to happen around the area. I think there needs to be a bit of an area refurb going on around the Enterprise site. I do feel as if the Smiler could do with a few refurbishments here and there. The projections in the queue line, some of them work, some of them don't, some of them might work, some of them might not on different days. It's a bit iffy, it's a bit on and off at times, so it's a bit, sketchy. So I do think that they should have some permanent projections on that are going to work 100%. Of course, technology, you don't know what's going to happen with technology, it might not work, but of course you need the latest and greatest. So I do feel as if they're going to put projections on the walls in the Smiler, do it right, and make sure it's all working 100%, because at the minute it's a bit sketchy as to if it works. And like I said, with the Submission site, there needs to be a new ride. Get some fixes to the entrance lights, get the entrance repainted, because the entrance to X Sector, the big old entrance sign, looks a bit. I know it's supposed to look grey, which kind of hides the fact that the sign is aging. However, I do feel as if it needs a repaint. I do feel as if it needs a repaint. Maybe even a new logo. Maybe give the X sector area a new logo, which would mean a brand new sign. Give it that modern treatment. This is what it's all. This is what the main part of the video is all about. Give X sector the modern day 21st century treatment. And the main thing, not just the area itself, but Oblivion as well. Revamp the Q-line videos. Don't get rid of the scripts for the Q-line videos. You know, keep the same script with the man in a blackened room, a darkened room, saying all these things, but re-record it. Like, get a new man in or something, or get the same man in and re-record it, or do a different style with the Q-line videos. Don't get rid of it, or just keep it the same, because then it just gets dated. So I do feel as if a new version of the Q-line videos should be in. We've been thinking that for a couple of years. Another thing that we need to be thinking about for a couple of years is that the Q-line video audio needs to be more audible. I absolutely agree with that point. And by the way, some of these points I'm reading from a forum from 2 years ago, and some of them just still haven't been done. Pretty much none of them have been done. Q-line videos audio needs to be audible. I want to hear that audio. I can barely hear it. It's got louder over the last couple of years, but it's still not loud enough. It could be to do with the ride system, how B&Ms are a bit noisy on this one. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think B&M is B&M. They can't help. They can't help it if it's a noisy ride system. It's a coaster, for God's sake. It's a massive B&M dive machine. So you got to look at that and you think the Q-line audio needs to be visible. Maybe get some extra speakers and sort of wire it up with the screen that projects the video, so that the audio plays out there instead of just through the screen. Maybe, I don't know. Give the Q-line a revamp. I think some of the rot work in the Q-line looks absolutely disgusting. It looks as if it hasn't been repainted for a while. I do feel as if the Q-line's starting to get a bit dated, not just the videos. I think there needs to be some paint jobs going on around the Q-line. Maybe, I know this is just a suggestion, but you know the silver barred domed Q corridors, ramps, shall we say, upward ramps going into the station towards the end of the Q-line experience. Maybe make them indoors and give them some projection mapping or something. Maybe give them a remove the metal bars and put like screens in, put like a wall in and then put a screen in. So it's like a projection, like a technological projection. Again, revamping it to the 21st century. Repaint the track. I do feel like the track needs a repaint, whether it needs to be a lighter grey. Again, this is kind of the advantage with it being grey. I think with it being grey, it sort of hides the fact that it's aging, but I do see little paint peelings here and there, which I do think looks like it's aging. So I do feel that. And then again, it's this whole thing with etc. about it being revamped to the 21st century. I know I'm reading things from 2 years ago, but some of the things like the audio and the Q-line videos, the repaint of Oblivion, the whole revamp of Oblivion is probably needed. I know some people have been calling for its removal. I don't think it should be removed for quite a while. I think if you were going to do a major overhaul to it, I'd say repaint the track, do the Q-line up, give it a new Q-line video, give it a complete overhaul. Maybe remove the wide cars and sort of edit the station so it adapts to a 3-car, maybe? I don't know. But I think that's what's needed. I think you can have 1 or 2 more trains if you take the 2 wide cars and maybe make it into a flawless. Either make it a flawless 2 wide car, or maybe if you can, shorten it but make it an extra row, so you've got a 3 cars per train kind of thing, and you've still got loads of trains running around the circuit, but a flawless one like the Oblivion the Black Hole at Gardaland. Give it the Oblivion the Black Hole treatment, but obviously not name it Oblivion the Black Hole. Go with a different name, Orbit, Galaxy. Well, I'm not going to go for Galaxy or anything like that because that just takes the rip out of Galactica. But something X-sectory, something that says X Sector and not Galactica, or Galactic Air, shall I say. But I do feel like Oblivion needs a complete overhaul, whether that's just repainting the trains and the queue line and updating the queue line and things like that, including the videos and the audio. Or it's including shortening the trains, making it a flawless dive coaster as well. I don't know, maybe retrack a few bits, I don't know. But I think Oblivion needs a bit of work. Obviously not yet, I mean give it a few years at least, but I do feel as if in the long term Oblivion needs a bit of work to it. If you're not going to do the work to it, don't leave it rotting. If you've got something better for that site, give it its final run and then go for it. But I don't think Oblivion's going to be removed for quite a while yet. I think give it its major overhaul, try that out. If it's still not working, get rid of it. But give it a long time. I think I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be about 25, 30 years old when Oblivion goes, hopefully. So fingers crossed for that. So thank you very much for watching this video on the future of X Sector. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. For now, my name is Curse Shell. Keep living the curse up, dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care. Have an awesome day, my friends.